Today I want to talk about recovering repressed memories of childhood sexual abuse, and specifically the panic that I have experienced many times right before the moment of recovery. And oftentimes I've heard stories of people recovering these memories and like landing into panic attacks. So far, all of my recovery has happened in psychedelic ceremonies. And in each ceremony, like right before the moment of recovery, there was great panic in my system. And I've gone through 3 layers of these. The first layer was going from having no sense of being sexually abused as a child, just not having that as a part of my identity, to coming to this place of wondering and just questioning, like, is this something that happened to me? I wonder. And that was pretty massive. It was a pretty massive shift, even though the energy with which I'm talking about it may not seem huge. The next shift was going from that to recovering a first set of memories with my maternal grandfather, which included sodomy, fellatio, amongst other things. The second set was recovering a memory. The next stage after that was recovering a memory of sodomy with his friend, who's also related to me, also a grandfatherly figure. And since then, over the last year, I've been exploring the possibility that someone else in my childhood might have contributed to inappropriate sexual touch. And I have thus far stayed away from using any psychedelics to aid that recovery, because I really want to practice developing recovery mechanisms without any substances. And I've noticed that whenever I come close to that point of remembering something, I go into a panicked shutdown. And in those moments, it's really helpful for me to remind myself that anything that I see has already happened. Anything that I might see has already happened. It's in the past. And this is a reminder that I have cultivated in myself, and I keep going back to this essential truth. And it applies to anyone who's watching who is struggling with the recovery of repressed memories. Remember that anything that you might see has already happened. It's not happening to you right now. It's already happened. And this also applies to there is a big fear of finding out the identity of your perpetrator, because they may be someone you're really close to, and one might be afraid of confronting them, talking to them, bringing this up with them. And again, it's like really helpful to remember that all of those actions are in the future. They're not something you need to take at the moment of recovery. So those are all in the future, and you have agency, you have conscious choice. You may decide to never confront, you may decide to completely excommunicate them like you have, or you may confront them and they may immediately forgive you or seek forgiveness from you, and you may forgive them, and it might be beautiful and golden and rosy. So these are all like different possibilities that exist in the future. So when I feel that like panic of a possible recovery of a repressed memory, it's really helpful for me to remind myself that anything that I might see has already happened in the past, and anything that I might have to do is in the future. It's a very simple applications of the principle of mindfulness or presence applied to this difficult task, the task of recovery of repressed memories, which is also a task that you have agency on, like you have full agency on whether you want to recover it or not. Just in my own experience, I found a lot more freedom, ease, pleasure, peace in my life when I've chosen to recover the memories. I've just seen more of myself through that process. And when I see more of myself, I act in ways that just create ease and peace in my life instead of pain and suffering and misery.